you're not just reading this book, you're playing a game. And as we've learned, entertainment is blind. It's an illusion. And after around page 300, I was ready to throw this in the trash. Not really, but probably give it away. And then at around page 450-ish, I decided it wasn't worth my time anymore. I would almost dread having to pick this up and continue reading it. And I thought, I shouldn't feel that way about a book. I should just stop. No one is forcing me to read this, even if it is my book club's monthly read. So I put it aside for a day and took to the internet to see if anybody else could tell me that they were experiencing the same thing. I'd feel like my decision was justified. And saw a lot of different comments on Reddit or some videos that pretty much had the same experience as I was having at the moment, around the same area, 300 page mark in this book. Even though some people said once you make it past page 300, then you're golden and you'll start to enjoy it. But then I came across this one YouTube channel called Right Conscious. And this video in particular, it only took, by the end of that video, my mind had completely changed about this book, and I couldn't wait to go pick it up and start reading it again. Complete 180. I'm not even exaggerating here. It was amazing how different my mindset about this book was. So many things have opened up. So many connections have shown themselves. The thoughts that I'm having, the overall experience of reading this, it's almost mind-blowing to think that a person could actually come up with this story in their head and write it for us to read. David Foster Wallace, knew nothing about him before picking up this book, and now I can't get enough. And it's just so funny because now it's almost like an addiction. I've played into the game and now I'm in it. It has to be the intention of this book. Now, one of the things that I kept hearing when I first started reading this was, don't expect to understand it or connect the dots your first time reading it. And I kept thinking, well, what is the point? Like, I'm just pre-reading this to read it again. Not to say that you shouldn't reread books. I love rereading books. And I can tell you that I'm probably going to reread this one multiple times. But when you hear those types of comments and suggestions, it's almost discouraging to the point where you're already putting things in someone's head that they can kind of breeze through things, because don't worry, you're not supposed to connect any sort of dots in this just yet. That is false, my friends. Don't listen to that crap. This book is not as hard as everybody makes it out to be, especially if you are, an average reader like myself. It's not hard. It's just not. If you have a creative mind and you're able to, imagine things connecting in certain ways and themes and the addiction. I mean, just now, I feel addicted to reading this book. This book is all about addiction and control or lack of self-control, which contributes to addiction and bad habit forming, or even being controlled by your sport. We go into entertainment on this, the entertainment realm. I never even understood that as a theme when I was first reading this, probably around that 400-page mark. But now, the entire book, the entire reading of this is a game. And games are what? They're forms of entertainment, sport. We are players in this game. We're not readers, we're players. Just like all of those at ETA, Tennis Academy, the reading is clear, the dots are there, connections are made, and it can be done, even during your first read. Now, there's a lot of dark issues that go along with this that aren't so entertaining. That's okay, because it all goes to an overall theme of self-control and what is controlling us, what is forming us to become players in whatever aspect of our lives is the game we are playing. Because, like we said in part one, There's a lot of Shakespeare references in here, whether directly, as he talks about Hamlet, or indirectly, just as we all have a role to play and each must play the part. So all these different things are contributing to our roles in that play, in that game, in that sport. Whether it is sports, whether it's drugs, whether it's our parents, family dynamics, definitely acting as coaches in how we come up in life and then how we play the game of life, all here connected together. It's all in here. And what's crazy is I would hear about all these things, and I am finding that it is probably best to do a little bit of research. And you can do research, and I love how people do more and more of these booktube type videos. I kind of like book talk better. I feel like people start to gatekeep and hold different certain terms that have been around a lot longer than this channel. But some book talk things about this book and other books, that you shouldn't do any research beforehand when reading something for the first time. And I think that you can go about getting information without getting spoilers. And I think it was really, really helpful in this case. And so I'm going to take that into future books, especially the ones that are harder to read. So after getting into this book and really connecting those dots, it's become a lot easier to read. I'm not going in thinking that it's a hard read. I'm just going into with an open mind and to connect more dots. I still don't really see how this is a funny book, unless you're just really into like dark things being funny. Not saying anything bad about that, but it's not as funny as I think some people's humor finds it. For me, it's something that I can apply in reality, especially nowadays when we are very consumed by endless scrolling, as they like to say on YouTube, and streaming every single thing. We almost don't even own physical copies of anything, music, movies, TV shows. It's all streaming now. And we don't have any sort of time with those, except for we're always wanting to change something, scrolling on to the next thing, hitting fast forward, binging. And it's really consumed us to the point of an addiction. And I know myself, I'll be watching a TV show that I love, my favorite show, and I'll pick up my phone. Even when there's not an ad, I will sit there because it has now become a habit. And I'm trying to get away from that. Every time now that I feel myself doing that, I will pause or stop whatever I'm watching and pick up my current book, which is now Infinite Jest. And in that moment, I can apply those things that I'm doing to myself, and it really starts to connect and open up different thoughts and just aspects of these characters that are going through something as far as addiction goes. And even when it's not just clear addiction, when it's just talking about a drug addiction, there's other addictions in here. I mean, we are all addicted to something, no matter what it is. Coffee, caffeine, that's a drug. Our phones, that is an addiction. So everything that I've been reading so far on this has just been magnificent. I cannot get enough of it. I want to read more of David Foster Wallace stories, short stories, essays, books. I think this is probably like what everybody would say is his best work. Maybe, am I right? But sometimes it blows my mind to think that somebody can just write something like this that's very moving, very profound, and not just directly tell you the story, but instead tell you all these things, all these different things that are going on with the characters, just dropping new characters in and out, just like you would have known them since chapter one. And so there's a ton of things that I'm getting out of this. I can't wait to do some writing on this. As I said in the other video, I'll be starting a Substack to start putting all of my writings in, whether it's on books that I'm reading, on short stories that I'm reading, if they're my own short stories, because I do write short stories. And so I think that maybe it's time that I start putting those out into the world, just like I started putting out thoughts on the books that I'm reading out here on YouTube. And I don't like to give any sort of spoilers or anything that's going on with any of the chapters, any of the plots, any of the characters, but I will say that I am a little over halfway. I've got about 400 pages left, and so I have no idea how this is going to pan out. Don't want to, but I just I can't wait to get back to it. And it's just been such a roller coaster ride. Just, I don't even know. I mean, just a handful of days ago, I was ready to call this book. Like, it was on life support, and I had signed the papers to let it go, man. Put it out of my misery. But I'm so glad that there are channels like Right Conscious, because it really was incredible that how that just totally changed my mind. And yeah, if you haven't checked out that channel, go ahead. I'll leave a link to it down in my description, because why not? I think that it is incredible. Dude also has like courses on this book, like courses on this book. I'm not in it, but if you're really wanting to, learn everything that there is to know about this, I think that would probably be a good way to do that. What else has been going on? I think there's a lot of things that we can just learn about the characters in this book, the struggles that they're going through, the really self-destruction that's happening, but also trying to get help for it in some ways. And obviously, I don't know how that's going to work out, but looking forward to seeing. And sometimes in real life, it doesn't work out. So it's not that I'll be disappointed if that's how it pans out. But besides the darker elements, and maybe this is a darker element, but it's all about the entertainment aspect for me, the theme of entertainment, and how you put that up against reality, because there's really no difference. It's all about how you perceive that, because what is reality if you're not playing the role in reality? And so that's why this book has just become really pretty mind-blowing for me. I'm loving the experience, just like I love watching entertainment, as we all do, right? Whether it's books, watching it on your phone, TV, in person, it's all the same when you really think about it. And yeah, so let me know if this is something that are similar to your thoughts on it, or if you completely hate this book. If you're just completely on the throw it away train, then I want to hear that too, because I think if you go and check out some of those videos that I was talking about, it might change your mind. Obviously, this book is not for everybody, but I'm so glad that I stuck with it, and am going to continue, or going to be able to continue to finish it, because I just can't wait to just like get all my thoughts down and in some sort of a structured form, rather than the rambling on of this video. Sorry about that. But anyways, I just got up to the point at 5:43 in the book, but it is going a lot faster now because it's just become a lot easier to play the game. All right, y'all, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you've got any comments, got any helpful little tidbits that can help me finish this book out, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Also, if this is something that you want to continue to see, more of these styles of videos, go ahead and give me a subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. And I guess I will see you all in the next one.